Hello and welcome to how to make your own custom magic cards, or rather I should say how to make your own custom magic set, because that's right, today we are going to get started working on our own custom set. Now I happen to have an idea for what I want to do with this set already. I want to base this set on the setting of Plain Gia, a D&D setting I happened to come across on Reddit. The link I'll put into the description down below. They've also got a Discord channel. We'll get into that more later. But now, if you want to start making a set, there are two different types on how to start working on a set. There's the top-down approach, which would be the flavor first method. So you have an idea for a world or a setting you'd like to translate into MTG. For example, Kaldheim, which is the set we just got, which tries to implement a lot of Norse mythology into Magic. Or you could start bottom up, which would be a mechanical idea that you have, and then you try to build your set around the mechanic that you thought up. For example, Zendikar was pitched as a lands set, so everybody got to thinking about, hey, how can we make lands interesting? How can we make lands meta in this environment, be it limited or in constructed? Alright, if you don't have any idea about where to start, but you just absolutely positively want to make a magic set, I would recommend the top-down flavor first approach. Just maybe look at your favorite fantasy franchises or your favorite D&D settings like I did, and just start from there. Try translating your characters or spells or locations or whatever into MTG. I'd also advise against trying to start making a magic set if you've never made magic cards before. That's a whole different beast, trying to balance all cards against each other, trying to build a limited environment that's fun. Yeah, but we'll get to all of that in later episodes. Now, as I've said, I want to set this set in the primordial Stone Age Stonepunk world of Plain Gia, and they've provided this PDF, a primer for all your D&D adventures. And to get into the setting and the feeling of it all, I think we'll just read these first few paragraphs together, just so that we get an idea of what this is all about. Alright. Welcome to Plain Gia. The oozing jungle shakes with the thunder and roar of the barbarian atop the awakened mammoth. He whirls his enchanted bone axe, signaling the sorceress soaring above. She folds her wings and dives, ablaze with magic. Tonight, her spells and his rage will at last lay waste to the slimy lair of the tentacled tyrant lizard and its corrupted brood. Still vibrating with star magic, the translucent elf scavenger, her edges dreamlike and indistinct, holds her breath. She carries her flint dagger in one hand and her offering of blood in the other, as she descends, trailed noiselessly by her ever-silent halfling companion, into the cave of the bear god. His stony beard glittering with gemstones, the dwarvish fighter and saurian spelkin bow their heads to receive the clan blessing as they prepare to track the fire giant slave raiders. The great clan fire claws at the night sky, and the shaman sings of rescue and dawn, but the rocky heart of the dwarf beats only with the drum song of revenge. Alright, this is the three-part introduction to the setting, and let's just read this description text as well. This is Plain Gia, a primordial fantasy campaign setting for 5th edition, where a dungeon means the curse-painted caves of a cannibal clan, and a mindless, monstrous dragon is as likely to eat you as look at you. Gone are the safe hearts of taverns and libraries, kingdoms and cathedrals. Plangea is a place of utter wilderness, where survival is the only law and it must be carved from the world by force of might and magic. Here you must eat or be eaten, fashion your own armor from fur, feathers, bone and stone. Shatter your hand-carved blades on the backs of your enemies in savage combat. Hunt primordial beasts, hold your breath as you hide from massive predators, and seek safety in numbers as you journey through an epic world before myth. A land of smoke, song, blades, dreams, blood, and magic. Now this sounds pretty cool, right? Sounds pretty deserving of an MTG setting, I would say. Now the first thing I always do is I hop over to Magic Set Editor and I just put in everything that comes to mind. Just start with a brainstorming session, and we can delete the two tutorial cards. Goodbye, Lightning Bolt and John Travolta. You will be dearly missed. You can hit Control and Return for a new card, and I'm just going to punch in everything that came to mind while reading that. I've already read a few other things, so I'm going to put them in as well. You can read the whole thing. Maybe you'll uncover some things that you want to put in as well. We can put in the clan fire. At first I thought that was very important aspect to all the clans, and let's just make this a legendary enchantment for now. I think because it's so important to all clans, it feels like almost this could be a mechanic that you can use for all cards across the different tribes. And yeah, let's just put down what I remember here. We've got undead pterodactyl, and I think that would be in black, and would be a creature, and it would be a zombie dinosaur, and it probably would also have flying. I'm just going to put in everything that I'm already sure about that is going to stay until the later version. We can change everything if we're not happy with it, but I'm not just going to put in power and toughness or something like that. I'm not sure about that as well. I think dinosaurs generally are a great creature type in Magic, and I think they need a few more cool cards. A bit more representation is always good. Let's just put in dinosaur. Maybe you can even reprint the best card in Magic, which is Colossal Dreadmaw. I think it's like this, right? It's a 6/6 with trample, and it's a dinosaur. I hope it's not 5 in the green. I'm going to be very embarrassed if I get the best Magic card wrong. And there was something about the ziggurat of the giants. The giants in Plangea are sort of evil slave mongers from the rims of the world. I think this could be land. And then we also have something about the World Heart Dragon, which is obviously like a legendary creature. Dragon. Could see this as being all colors, something like Progenitus, but maybe we'll need it somewhere else. Depends on if we have space for like a 5-color legend. I think like warriors and berserkers are also a given in this kind of world. There have been a lot of berserkers and warriors in Kaldheim already, but that's one other thing I wanted to add, that we are trying to design these cards in sort of like a bubble with no like standard environment in mind, because well, this is going to probably take some time normally in actual set design, a lot of people work on this and play test this, but since well, there are no other people except for those of you who choose to like help me out or participate for fun. Yeah, this is probably going to take way longer than the design of like an actual Magic set, or not longer, but yeah, we can't really worry about the standard at the time because it will change, and yeah, I also think that's just a lot of extra work that we're going to put on ourselves with just like this limited amount of people working on this with limited experience. Yeah, maybe if we find something which just absolutely breaks standard, we're just going to go like, no, we're not putting that in, but otherwise I don't want to be concerned about the bigger picture here. Yeah, this is a Berserker. Obviously, I think Berserkers are pretty safely going to be in red. Then there are the spell skins, which would be like the wizard equivalent, because normally in D&D you have like wizards that read books and spells, but the spell skins, well, in Planesgear, is actually forbidden to read or write. If you want to 100% adapt the setting, we couldn't have like actual wizards that read or write books or something like that, but I think we can have like a pretty good substitute in the spell skins for that. I would also like the volcanic activity to be represented there. I think the primordial land is always connected in our minds with like big volcanoes and crevices and other like big landmark things, just big stuff happening. And then I also came across in the foes or threats section, I think it was, I came across Najaga, the king of the dead, and I think that's a really cool like legendary black creature. Probably something from a higher rarity. We can already put in like rare or mythic rare even, because like that's the Grim Reaper of Planesgear, if I understood that correctly. So yeah, that's everything I had here for notes. We can just quickly go over this. Is there anything else? Yeah, the fire giants, we can put in like giant creatures, like the giant slavers, fire giants, probably red, probably creature, and most definitely a giant. Yeah, anything else? Yeah, we have some cool equipment that we can use. The like bone axes, we read something about like feather armor, fur armor. That's all stuff we can put in. Let's put this as an artifact. And equipment. Oopsie. Thing is, I don't really want to make like a lot of artifacts here, because it's still a young world where not a lot of like artifact stuff making has been figured out. I think, well, in the setting you can read it as like either it hasn't been figured out yet, or it's actually because writing and advancing technology is forbidden by the gods. Yeah, I think it's always just a little bit up to interpretation in the setting, but I don't think we're going to make this like color dash artifact matters, because yeah, I don't think that really fits here, even though we could theoretically say, okay, now bone axes and like feather armor, but I want to keep the artifact count quite low. Yeah. Maybe in the following days I'll just fill in this sheet here, fill in this program with a bunch more of ideas, read through this a bunch more times, and just, put in ideas. If you have anything that you want me to put in and you're like, hey, this is really cool, I want this as a card in the set, just tell me. Let's get back to our design notes. because normally, as I already mentioned, there's like different stages of design. Normally you have vision design and play design. Vision design is the part of design where the kind of the thing that we just did, we made the sort of blueprints of the set. You just put in all the ideas of yours, and then play design has to kind of build the house from those blueprints, quote unquote. And yeah, so most of the stuff we're going to do is like vision design, and then later in the later parts we can do play design, so to say, if we just want to clean this up and build our set. Because right now, this is not very balanced. Yeah, this is a lot of like red. We don't have any white cards yet, so we're going to need to clean this up, and yeah, I don't know how or if we're going to do like play design, play testing, but let's just see what's going to happen in the future. I've also put some recommended podcasts here, or YouTube series, where there's a lot of behind the scenes and designer talk by two people that work at Wizards of the Coast and work on designing Magic. Maybe you already know them. Mark Rosewater is the head designer of Magic. He has a podcast called Drive to Work, which I can really recommend. He goes into a lot of detail on designing Magic and more stuff than I can cover here, really. There's like, I don't know what he's up to, or which number of episodes he's already up to. I think it's like 400 right now. Yeah, it's been going for a long time, probably even more. Then there's Good Morning Magic by Gavin Verhey. He's a senior designer at Magic. And Good Morning Magic is basically a YouTube series where there's a lot of different stuff. Sometimes it's design, sometimes it's like cooking or makeup stuff based on Magic. It's a lot of fun. But there's a lot of like behind the scenes. How did this card get made? And I can also recommend you check that out. And yeah, I think that's it for this episode. As I said, if you want to contribute and want to put in some more cards, just leave them in the comments below. If you already have like effects or stuff you definitely want to see on that card, tell me and I'll just put that in. Next time we're going to look at color coding the factions. I've already planned some things out here, as you can see. As far as this episode goes, I think we're finished for now. I can thank you for watching now. Do all the YouTube stuff, like the subscribe button. That's what they always want you to do, right? And yeah, check out my German D&D podcast if you want. And other than that, spread love and be kind. Bye bye.